Hi, I am Chris Hobdell, Managing Director and co-founder of the Manx charity, the Archibald Knox Forum. This is the sixth in a series of films and it's entitled Knox and Europe. In the magazine Deutsche Kunst and Dekoration in 1901 is the drawing of a design by the architect Rudolf Melican. It's undoubtedly been influenced by Knox. Now, much has been written about Charles Rennie Mackintosh, etc., and his influence on the Viennese secession. But there are two main reasons why Knox has never been given the same credit for influencing such designers. The first is that Liberty & Co. never named Knox as their main designer. And secondly, many in Europe knew the style as Liberty style, but didn't realise it could also be called the Knox style. The example which shows that the influence of Knox on Rudolf Melican, you can see an image by Sotheby's. It's a close-up of a silver and enamel mirror that was designed by Knox for Liberty & Co. in 1901. It's so beautiful, it's no wonder that it had influence in Germany and Vienna and the Viennese secession. Two other examples are being shown on the screen, together with an extract about Knox's work written in Europe in 1903. The first two sets of images refer to Peter Behrens. For those of you who have not heard of Peter Behrens, he was one of the most influential 20th century German designers. At the beginning of the 20th century, his outstanding works in painting, architecture, graphic design, and industrial design exerted a paramount influence in all these fields, opening up uncharted territory for generations to come. He is viewed as the founder of modern objective industrial architecture and modern industrial design. Born in Hamburg in 1868, Peter Behrens studied at the Hamburg Kunstgewerbeschule, School of Applied Art, from 1886 to 1889, before attending the Kunstschule in Karlsruhe and the Düsseldorf Art Academy. From 1890, he worked as a partner and graphic artist in Munich, where he joined the Jugendstil movement. In 1893, he was a founder member of the Munich secession. In order to give an insight into the influence of Knox on Behrens, there are two examples on screen. The first is a biscuit tin designed by Archibald Knox for Liberty & Co. in 1900. It is made of silver, enamel and blister pearls with swept up thumb pieces for opening the tin. The other image you can see is Peter Behrens' copy or highly influenced design, which at the very earliest is 1902, as it is a piece of Isis pewter which was only began to be manufactured in 1902. So there we have Knox with a design at least 2 years older than Behrens' attempt, and it's a great compliment to Knox that Behrens was influenced by this. The second set of images show claret jugs. On the left, the one by Knox in about 1902, with its incredible handle and pointed top. And on the right is Peter Behrens' copy or influenced piece, which was made in at least 1905, or at the earliest 1905. So we've seen so far influences of Knox on Peter Behrens and on the Viennese secession. We also have evidence from other magazines. In 1903, in the magazine Kunst und Kunsthandwerk, there is an article by Peter Conady, who came to London and looked at the Arts and Crafts Fair. He went back to Vienna and wrote up this visit, and actually in his write-up there are at least 3 references to Knox. So even in 1903 in Europe, Knox's name was being used, even though most people knew it was not Liberty style. It's actually Knox style that made Liberty so famous. We could take exception to what Conady actually wrote, because this is a quote: "The curious curves which Liberty were the first to introduce, and which have a ruinous influence on the whole of European applied art, make a pleasant enough first impression. Such pieces as the cups by Archibald Knox for Liberty have had admirers. What a terrible prospect, though, of having to spend one's life surrounded by these terrible shapes." On the screen are pages 82 and 83 of the article, and you will be able to see a link to the article also on screen. We're grateful to Anthony Birnbaum of the Pear Tree Collection for his help and advice in bringing this paper together, and also for the Peter Behrens images. As you will see on page 82 and 83 of the article, there are 2 cups, one on the left-hand page and one on the right-hand page, by Knox. And the next images on screen are 2 up-to-date photographs of those very cups. The first is courtesy of the Victoria and Albert Museum, who own the copyright to the image, and the second one is the covered cup with enamel, which is shown courtesy of a private collector. The final image is page 90 of the magazine, which is all in German, and I don't speak German, but if you look through it, you can see the name Archibald Knox. These are fantastic pieces of evidence that we've seen that Knox indeed did have influence on Europe. No doubt there will be more examples of Knox's influence on Europe in years to come, and with more research.